Hi, this is Charity McKenzie with IDEA, and I am going to make a video on two-step equations. All right, so two-step equations have two steps, and they're kind of the start of the process with more steps. So I'm just going to give a couple different examples. So these are all two-step equations. All right, so my first example, what if I had, I'll write it the traditional way. First, 2x minus 3 equals some 7. Okay, so here's the problem here. And when I see a problem like this, I have to look for the x's first and understand it's asking 2 times what number minus 3 would give us 7. So I want to get 7 for the left side. Or another way to think about it is I want to simplify it until there's an x on the left side and a number on the right. So the way I do that is I always get rid of any number added or subtracted first. So I'm always going to undo the addition or subtraction first. This one has subtraction, so we're going to undo the subtraction by adding. So the opposite operation is to add. And when you do that to one side, you do that to the other. So that will get rid of this 3, so I'm closer to having x by itself. Oops. So I have 2x on the left equals 7 plus 3 is 10. Okay, and then I have one more step, hence the reason these are called two steps. So this is 2 times x, so to get rid of the 2, we would divide. Divide by 2, they're going to cancel here, and 10 divided by 2 would give you a 5. Okay, and so we could check our answer. I'm not going to write it out because I'll run out of room, but we could go back and go 2 times 5 would give us 10. 10 minus 3 would give us the 7. So we got our answer correct. Always check your answer with equations because you can always check if you did something wrong. So there's the traditional way that you're going to see a two-step equation. Sometimes we might try to trick you, not me of course, by writing the letter on the other side or mixing it up a little bit. And you still need to be able to solve it no matter which side the letter's on. So again, I'm going to find the x, which is right here, and I want to think of this as a negative 3x, okay? And so this is a negative term here. So the 2 here is positive and the negative goes with the 3. So when I see this, I still got to get rid of the number added or subtracted but this is a positive 2. So to get rid of it, I have to minus 2. They need to add to 0. The negative goes here. So I'm going to minus 2 to both sides. 8 minus 2 is going to give you 6. Okay, and those ones will go to 0. And you still have the minus 3x on the right-hand side. Okay, and then to get x by itself, I still see times. So when I'm going to divide, I have to divide by exactly the number in front of the x, or basically remember to keep the negative with it. And I'm going to divide both sides by that negative 3. These two will cancel. And then 6 divided by negative 3, negative divided by positive is a negative. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we got negative 2 for our x. Okay, let's go up and check that. Okay, if I look back here at the original, I have a negative right here, so think of it as negative 3 times negative 2, which would give us a positive 6, or you end up with a double negative in there. Either way that you think of it, you're going to end up with 2 plus 6, which would give you the 8. Okay, maybe I should show the check on that one real quick. So you would have 8 equals 2 minus, and then if you put in for that 3, the x, you're going to have a negative 2. When you times these two together, this is just one way to do it, you would have a negative 6 or double negative, which turns to a positive, and that's how you end up with the 8. All right, so these are two-step equations. You could add in fractions. You could have fraction answers too. So if you would have a fraction answer, you'd stop here and not be able to reduce it. And that's okay. We don't mind fractions. If you have decimals, you can do the same process. The big thing that I want you to know is to look at an equation and know what you should do, so that when you get to the harder ones with fractions and decimals and different things, you have an idea of how to solve it. All right, and that is my two-step equations.